and the waffle parties are culty.
Dude,
and
that
it's like,
waffle party.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Were they gonna have sex with her?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the Lost and Faded podcast, where we get faded and lost into our TV show and film for the week. This week, Severance Season 2, with me, Byron, and Colleen and Tyler.
Hi.
Hello. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy. Sit back, relax, and roll up as we talk about this amazing show. It's so good.
For real.
Oh.
I have so much to say, but it also leaves me speechless, you know?
Yeah. I guess as I roll up, we could talk about the characters.
Okay.
And their arcs for this season.
And we should probably specify, innie and outie.
Yeah, we definitely gotta do that.
Yeah.
So, should we start off with Mark, or should we, start off with someone?
Yeah.
Let's start
with
with Mark. All right, this is a big season for Mark. I mean, it's his show.
It is. I mean, yeah, he's the protagonist. Are we talking about outie Mark first?
Yeah, let's talk about outie Mark, and then we could talk about innie Mark.
Because at the end of the first season, outie Mark finds out that his wife is still alive, and Lumen is keeping her alive.
It's more the beginning of the season, though, where they talk about it.
Valid.
At the end of the first season, innie Mark finds out.
Valid. And then Devin, his sister.
She's like, hey, he doesn't mean the baby.
Literally. Yeah, Mark obviously is trying to escape his feelings a lot of the time. This season, I feel like he had a lot of character development because both his innie and outie version of himself, he was just like, fuck it, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're gonna figure something out so that Lumen doesn't win.
But they're always one step ahead.
Yeah.
No matter what. But I really like the development on outie Mark more than I like the development on innie Mark. But they're also kind of two different people.
Yeah. Innie Mark, I feel like he was still being pretty devout and stuff, but he had his guard up more in some ways.
He was pretty stubborn this season.
Yeah.
I feel.
He also just had his whole world thrown into a loop. He had no idea what was going on the outside until the season 1 finale. So
True.
I feel like Mark's outie had a lot more opportunity to grow after having the opportunity to meet, have his sister meet his innie and realize, oh, shit isn't what we expected.
Yeah.
Or it is what we expected.
I like how the first 2 episodes, it was first it was the innies and the aftermath of everything they went through. Then the second episode is what happened outside with the outies.
Yeah. Well, and then also there's things that people notice with the note that they play when they descend in the elevator and ascend in the elevator with the first episode, because remember how it was Helena and not Helly?
Yeah.
So with that, they play a different note than they usually do when it's Helly or when it's Helena. Yeah.
Damn.
So there's a lot of music things in the show that is adds to it too, that you can pick up clues on stuff.
Which, how did you guys feel about that whole Helena Helly thing?
I'm just surprised the season finale didn't end with her being pregnant.
There's so much symbolism that makes you think, is somebody
real.
pregnant?
There was a lot of symbolism with fertility and stuff.
Yeah.
And
The baby goats, whatever was going on there.
they were so cute.
They're definitely sacrificial lambs of some sort.
Yeah.
Literal sacrificial lambs.
Yeah.
I like how it went from, for Lumen, it went from just this evil company to, oh, they're fucking cold.
No, literally, they're fucking weird. And I was sad that they kind of had Irving go away, but he heard that he's going to be a part of season 3. So
I hope so.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a part of season 3. I've heard that he is going to be around in the process.
I feel like they really wasted that character this season. Irving.
I love Irving.
I liked him too, and I'm I wanted to see more from him. And then they kind of were this is kind of an end to the story, it felt like, but it was a weird ending. Why are we even going down this road?
Yeah. Everybody was posting the picture of Irving on the train and they said, "Girl who's gonna be okay."
I can't.
And I was like, no, he needs to come back.
Yeah, I mean, like, we don't even know what his Audi was doing.
No, but he knew shit. And it's like, and it's like showing cracks in the severance procedure because he was painting that elevator and he somehow knew about it.
Even Miss Cobell was like, what? He knows about the elevator? How?
Yeah.
Like, it was something that they didn't even think of, that the stuff could bleed through the memory of the innies and outies.
With Gemma, it was like they were giving her all of these different severed personalities and like doing experiments on her.
You think she's fucked? Her brain's fucked after that?
He thinks, I know that we were talking about it after we watched the finale, and the doctor dude who was like in all the rooms with her, he was like, "You're gonna kill them all."
It either means all the innies, like, of the whole branch of Lumen, or it's all of the personalities of Gemma.
It might be her because he was kind of in love with her.
Yeah, he was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
didn't like him.
There was like 2 guys in love with her. I was like, you guys don't even know her.
Literally.
That realization of what all those different rooms and stuff are, though, makes you wonder, like, what is Lumen truly up to? Because when the show first started, I thought it was going to be more about, like, the diabolical stuff they're doing. But for the most part, all we knew was the numbers and the goats and the departments that are in charge of making things look nice and having fun. Like, you really don't know what else is going on down there besides the personalities.
Yeah, I feel like they're not doing, like, there's evil stuff going down, but they're not, like, torturing. Well, they're torturing Gemma. But other people,
Literally.
I don't think they're, like, doing much with the other employees. I feel like they're not.
Well, there's a department of choreography and merriment, which I would love to work for that. I would be in a marching band. That would be my innies life. That would be so fun.
Good for her.
A little pep band. I don't know.
It's weird.
They try to keep them separated because it's kind of like when there's like revolution or talks of revolution, like they try to like stamp that out immediately. And they're trying to do that with the innies. So they're like, okay, we're going to give you these fake freedoms, like Dylan being able to meet his wife and like, you know, them giving out like the hall passes and stuff. Like
That reform stuff was crazy.
it was. And like you can tell that Milchick is like also just starting to be done with it. Like with all the racist shit that he's dealing with.
Yeah,
and
when he
like
got those paintings, I was like,
that
are
was
you
crazy.
fucking kidding me right now?
that was crazy.
They're like trying to portray you're part of the family, but they're also like, no, you like. He says big words in the show, but so do the Egans.
Yeah.
They don't want him to act like them, though. And it's kind of like, okay, we see why. And he's even starting to be like, you know what? I'm not having this shit.
Literally.
Except in the finale. Because I knew Dylan was going to come out of nowhere. Because I was like, that's what happened during the whole dance experience in the first season.
Oh, yeah, true.
Dylan just bit him. I was like, Dylan's going to come out and do something. I wasn't expecting him to do the whole vending machine war cry.
Hey, it worked.
It did. Also, it's just like the weird animatronics and like wax figures that they have of all the Egans. It's like very culty, and the waffle parties are culty.
Dude,
and
that
it's like,
waffle party.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Were they going to have sex with her?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's why I didn't really like the waffle parties.
guess so.
Probably.
Why else did he get the cattail whip thing?
You're right. You're right. Dude, him and Mark are getting all the action this season.
Mark is having sex with not his wife.
But yeah, Lumen's just filled with culty stuff.
It is.
And like that makes me feel like this show's going an unexpected way that people didn't. I feel like there's going to be like sleeper agents and stuff with the innies and outies that we're not going to expect. And I feel like the next season's going to be much more outside of the world of the Lumen headquarters.
I was thinking, what if they like take over on the inside and the innies don't want to leave?
Well, that's what I was thinking, like, based on the finale. It's like, okay, what's their plan from here? because it's like you only exist on this floor.
Yeah. Here, I finished rolling up so we could just talk about whatever now.
But I was wondering if Helena might be open to the reintegration process because her dad doesn't love her. Like, he said that, but he loves Helly. So she might do it for, like, his approval.
That's a fuck dynamic.
Yeah, but also Helena took a, like, liking to Mark. So it's like Helena and Helly both like Mark.
Yeah.
And then also if we think she might be pregnant or get pregnant because they fucked however many times last season, like, then he will be relevant to the Egan family because they're creating a new Egan.
Yeah.
In a way, Mark is the new Egan. Like, they're both meeting each other in their workplace and falling in love. And this is exactly what he means by seeing the flame of Kier inside of her. Like,
Praise Kier.
No.
Yeah, not good. He scares me.
Yeah, with that thought, I was thinking about that painting that they had for Mark when he came up from the finale with all those faces, which I was like,
how do they know everybody?
I don't know.
Well, and they had like everyone too.
They had everyone. They had that girl, that ghost girl from the when they were outdoors in the snow retreat or whatever.
Yeah.
They even had her on there. I was like, why is she on there?
Yeah.
This season was interesting.
It was. I really thought Irving's character played a big part, even though he wasn't in it like a ton necessarily, because he was the one who figured out where the elevator to the testing floor is.
Yeah.
Because he heard from the lady that knew Bert, and like, so it's like he had the ins. He was the one who realized that Helly wasn't Helly. Like, he was important. And then I was just like, with Bert, I was like, okay, why are you like making him go away?
He knew they would come after him. But yeah, I agree. I don't know.
But I feel like Irving could fight it. And then also, he don't got to worry about that one guy now.
True.
I have a theory.
I feel like
Irving.
What's the theory?
I feel like it's completely a plot point thing where they thought he was going to get in the way of the storyline of, one, of Mark choosing to stay within the compound at the end, and two, with how they already have the marching band on their side. At the final episode, the marching band was talked into joining them in trying to take over their lives as innies by Helly. And I feel like that might be a point where what's Bert's old group?
O&D.
O&D, they're not going to want to join them until Irving comes back, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he's going to get back on the inside.
I think they're going to revolt and they're going to take a hold of the floor. Mm-hmm. Because what are they going to do? All the stuff controls are on that floor for all the innies and shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I feel like that's the only way this season can go, because I'm like, Mark made that decision because if he leaves that door, that's the end of him.
Exactly.
Like, he truly cares about everybody on that floor.
And it's like, that's the last he's going to see of them because they might not all be down with reintegration.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But real quickly, that conversation between Outie Mark and Innie Mark, I thought was a phenomenal little piece. I would watch that alone. It would be confusing without the context of the show, but it was really interesting to see a person argue with themselves and actually feel compelled about both sides and their interactions.
Well, and the lighting and the coloring on that show are like so relevant because Innie Mark was like red and he was by fire, and then Outie Mark was outside by the snow and like it was blue. Yeah. It just shows like the juxtaposition of the two of them, and it's like Outie Mark is depressed and sad, but he's like trying to do what's right for his wife, and then Innie Mark has like a fire under his ass and is gonna like do what he thinks is best for the innies.
Yeah. I like that fight for the innies because they are people.
Yeah. But it's the ending of the finale.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was crying just seeing Gemma screaming Mark's name.
Dude, that's fucked for her. She's been through so much.
She literally has been tortured. I literally told him, I said, this is going to make me sick. I said, this is horrible. This is my nightmare.
And then he leaves her for his work life.
Yeah.
No, literally. And it's like, he's made the comment before that it might be like a little bit of commentary on like work wives and work husbands. Like, oh, like, it doesn't mean anything, but like,
Yeah.
so.
But you technically face a whole different life at your corporation or your workplace, wherever you are. So like that work wife or work husband has a really good understanding of what you're going through in that position. And Gemma, while she did get tortured just like him, like apparently he doesn't see that.
No, well, and I think he sees Gemma and thinks of his Audi and what he's going to be doing for him. I don't think he's like, I think he is for once in his life being like, well, what about me?
Literally.
Because like the innies obviously they aren't self-serving.
No. Which I'm like, they created this whole anything and they treat them like literal like tools, and they don't even like realize, hey, it's still a human. They're still gonna make friendships, fall in love in there. It's just gonna be separate from their outside lives.
Right.
It's like, why weren't you guys thinking about that?
I think they are thinking about that. I feel like that's the whole thing with Gemma is they're trying to see how they can really separate like trauma and experiences on the outside, because that's why they're having her do the things that she hates.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the writing the thank you notes. They mentioned in the flashback episode that like she hated writing thank you notes, and she had to write however many after the wedding.
That was fucked. And the one that's in the dentist room that's constantly just getting her teeth worked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's weird also to think about, like, they had the breathing cabin, and I was thinking, like, okay, think about your innie just exists to give birth.
Insane.
That would be horrible.
That's
Every time you're back at
wild.
that cabin and come to existence, you're giving birth or in labor. Like,
Excruciating pain. every day.
literally, like, that's fucking horrible. So it's just like, you're taking out like a part of your thought process with it just to torture somebody else, even though you don't look at it as someone else. Like, it's just another ethical, is this right kind of thing. Like,
It's not.
no. And it's like you start watching the show and you're like, oh, would I get that done? And then you keep watching the show. You're like, absolutely not.
Is that commentary at all on like people being like put to sleep during surgeries and stuff, do you guys think? Or is that more of just like another way to compare the innie and outie lifestyles?
I think it's something like that, just to get away from that painful experience. Because, what was her name? The creator of it. What was her name?
Miss Cobell?
Yeah. She created it because of her childhood working at that factory with the ether, and they're getting high. And she's like, I gotta figure out something that we don't get high, but we can separate ourselves. That way.
A lot of the time with dealing with grief and things, the only way out is through,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
You
And
got
it's like,
to experience that shit.
exactly. And that is part of what makes the human experience, which started making the innies more human to everybody when they started experiencing love and grief and like all of these emotions that humans face every day.
Like the trauma that Gemma has experienced is what makes Gemma Gemma. So why take that stuff away from her?
Like, it kind of reminds me of what Dylan's going through with his wife, where his wife's like, your innie is kind of like how you used to be.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, this is how I am now.
Yeah.
It's insane when you really think about it. I would feel the same way as he did.
The love triangle with himself is crazy. Like, that would send me into a spiral, absolutely. I would probably be like, you kissed me, but it wasn't me. Like, that's weird.
You could just do it at home.
Literally, I can pretend.
His little letter to himself, though, that was very like sweet, and
It
just
was.
being like, it's kind of nice knowing that there's a part of me out there that like is what I used to be like, and it's something I could strive to be, rather than just thinking that part's gone forever.
Yeah. I did like that a lot.
I really wish they did more with the reintegration. Like,
Same.
I feel like this is the second time we were like, okay, let's see the reintegration, and then we don't really see it.
I think that it'll definitely be a theme of next season. I think, what's her name? Rangabi? Is that right?
I don't wanna say it.
Ragavi.
Yeah, I think you're
Something
close
like
enough.
that. But the woman who used to work for Lumen that is doing all the reintegration stuff, she, I feel like, will be part of the next season. People think her and Cobell had, like, something in their past. So it's like, I could see that also.
Well, yeah, Corbell thought she was going to kill Mark.
Well, that, but also, like, I'm talking about, like, working at Lumen. Like, I think that maybe she could have helped Cobell with, like, the Severance chip or something like that.
Yeah.
And, like, that's how she knows how to, like, bleed it out, or that's how she's experimenting with how to, like, bleed it out and, like, make it not part of you anymore.
Yeah. Like, 12 years working on this stuff, and I don't feel like they really made that much
And
progress.
a man comes and puts his name on it.
Wild.
Fuck Kier.
Yeah.
Not praise Kier.
No.
Speaks a lot on large corporations, though, coming and taking ideas.
Yeah, true.
For real.
They're probably like, oh, you use company resources. This is our idea now.
And they just
That's
made
how it
her,
goes a lot of the time, yeah.
and they made her a manager.
Literally the floor manager. Can we also just talk about Mr. Milchick in the last episode? Okay, he gives Dylan the letter, and he's like, you might feel emotions when you read this. And then he sprints away, and then
Before the camera even gets on.
yeah, he's out of frame already. I was like, is this real right now? Like, you know, it was like a high intensity, like a lot is at stake in that episode, and then like there's shit like that just happens, and you're like,
I'm glad he got another musical scene.
me too. I was like, okay, he's the drum major. Come on, Mr. Milchick.
He was going off.
He was. I was like, I wonder if they just kind of sprung that on him, because apparently the music dance experience in the first season was just like a random scene they ended up throwing in.
Oh, damn,
So-
was it?
Yeah. So I wonder if they were like, everybody loved that last season. Let's give him a little dance number.
Probably. I hope they keep it up.
But you said, dance for me, please. He's iconic. I feel like he's obviously going to be a big part of next season.
Yeah. This season was rough for him, I feel like.
Yeah.
He got promoted and just
Got shit on constantly.
Yeah, literally.
He's that one teacher at school that you hate to love. He's just constantly doing his best for the students.
He's like the teacher that's also a dean.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be cool with him, but then you're like, you're kind of a narc.
Always in the worst ways. Like,
Yeah.
he's still fighting you towards the end, but then he's like, nah, we're not letting this shit happen.
Yeah, well, like, he was going at that vending machine.
He was like,
He was going in.
he wants that job.
He's like, you're not going to ruin this for me.
How do you feel about the kid? I forgot what her name was.
Miss Wong.
Miss Wong. How do you guys feel about her?
Okay, people were like theorizing that was Mark and Gemma's kid, and I was like, no,
No,
that makes no sense.
at all.
So we're not even going to entertain that theory. Yeah, Gemma's been missing for 2 years.
Yeah, like, what?
Calm down. Just because it's another Asian person on the show doesn't mean they're related, okay? I thought it was relevant, and he brought this up to me like when we were watching the second to last episode of the season. But they were like, they're getting the kid out of there before shit gets real.
True. Yeah, she can't see any of that.
But also, they never told you why she was a kid.
No. They never
Just because of her age. Okay, yes.
I think it was another slight to Milchick. They really didn't like him.
It's a good theory, honestly.
I was like, you're babysitting.
And it's like even a child could do the job he did before, so really do a good job now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I feel like the season just added more questions than answers in a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least we know, like, what MDR does now. We know, like, Cobell created all of this.
Yeah.
Like,
And now she's on their side,
yeah.
so they have.
She's ready to watch it burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, in her own way.
Yeah, in her own way. I think she might turn on her
I
team.
definitely think if she gets what she wants, she will turn on them.
Yeah.
Like, they'll probably bring her back and be like, we need you in your own spot. And they'll probably demote Milchick.
They probably will. They'll be like, we need those paintings back, too.
That would be crazy.
Those
he probably
were
just
insane.
tossed them. I hope he did.
Well, yeah, he's not severed, so, like, I would go home and burn that shit. I'd be like, you're fucking kidding me.
Right now it's up in the closet, like at the top of it, right? And I remember him putting it away somewhere.
Yeah, I think he was just like, out of sight, out of mind. I'm not entertaining this right now. And tried to get, like, Natalie to be like, have they treated you differently? And she's like, we need to go to this meeting.
Yeah. Am I wrong, or isn't there like a hidden neighborhood somewhere that Petey mentioned in the first season?
He mentioned it, but they never.
I thought that's where Gemma was gonna be.
Which I'm also wondering if that's just Mark's neighborhood because Miss Cobell lived there as Miss Selvig.
Maybe he was just chirping it. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was Petey doing all that.
Yeah.
It's also weird they haven't brought him up towards like any of the
Or his daughter.
Well, that's what it was like. Remember Petey and his daughter? I was like, they like went to like his daughter's show.
And she was weirded out by Mark. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they like just never, they were like,
Yeah, they be dropping characters like that replacement crew in the first episode.
I'm surprised they weren't in the painting.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't replace one of them didn't replace Irving.
Yeah. They just changed it to the 3.
Interesting.
Which I think it's also interesting that they did that. Because, like, what is that trying to say to them? You're not replaceable.
Yeah.
You're an asset to our team and we need you here.
I don't know. I think they were just winging it towards the end with all that shit.
Probably.
It was just like, please get this stuff done. I'm just like, what are they gonna do with those other personalities with Gemma? Were they just gonna finish that and then just kill her and be like, we figured something out?
I don't know. And it was like each room was different. So, like, when she's on the severed floor, she's Miss Casey. So if they went to that cabin, she would be Miss Casey because Mark was innie Mark.
Maybe
During all the rooms, she was like a different version of herself. They were literally like just like treating her like a doll. They were dressing her up and sending her into these like uncomfortable scenarios.
I feel like the last room definitely was trying to be like, yeah, you don't remember that you wanted a child, so
and you don't remember how like grief stricken you were when you miscarried. Like that was the main thing with that for sure.
Yeah, they were either trying to see how many wipes of a mind it took to take all the original mind out of the new one, or they were trying to do something like seeing how many personalities could fit inside of a mind before the mind is not available anymore. So they could try to fit all the Egans inside one body or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All the Egans in one body. Ew.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
That's how they would sound.
And with the revolving, I don't know if it's like a thing that the other Egans have done, but that kind of makes sense to me that multiple personalities in a body would be involved with that word because they would revolve and switch from one personality to another.
True.
That's freaky.
I don't like this. I don't like where this is heading.
No, it's about to get dark.
Like, what happens when she integrates?
Gemma?
Yeah.
I feel like she's going to get fully reintegrated before Mark because she's going to want to be herself again.
So many questions.
Well, because, her Audi has just also been tolerating, like, being kept in Lumen's basement.
Which is crazy. I would be freaking out every day.
I would be rocking back and forth.
I mean, like, you guys have to fight me every time you
No, literally, during the finale when she was like, it's the spouse. They were the little chase scene. I was like, that was good. That was good.
That was funny.
Dude, that security guard got shot. That was crazy.
That I was not expecting.
He deserved it, though.
He was the worst.
He just punched Mark. He didn't need to punch him.
No.
That was a crazy punch he did.
Dude, that scene was crazy. Shout out to the goat lady.
Yeah, shout out to the goat people and the goat lady.
Yeah.
Whatever is going on with those goat people. Well, they have to watch their goats die, so.
I saw this one thing and it was like, imagine your innie just deals with goats all day and then you go home smelling like goat shit and you don't know why.
That would be the worst.
I need a new job. My suit smells like shit.
It's like, can you just tell me kind of what I'm doing in there? Like, my wife is getting really mad. I smell like shit when I come home.
Ugh. I can't. I don't even want to imagine that. I hope they find more departments.
Same.
Because that parking lot's full in the morning.
Yeah. And there's people that are like on the main floors and stuff too.
True.
I'm curious to see what else is happening on the severed floor.
With that iceberg painting that's on the wall, we're definitely going to see more, I feel like. It's definitely portraying that we haven't seen anything that Lumen has really been offering us yet.
Oh, yeah. There's the iceberg painting in Milchick's office.
He just watches it as he's on the phone call. That was crazy. So overall, what did you guys like about this season?
I really liked that it keeps you on your toes and it keeps making you question everything.
I really enjoyed getting to know the characters more. I felt like they really showed off their personalities, and even the ones that didn't get a lot of screen time, like the replacements, like they even had a nice little personality that made you think, oh, are they gonna be sticking around? Are they gonna join Mark on his quest? And it was nice to see like the world being created even more.
Yeah, the fact that they had different branches, so there's like different places where they're doing the same thing. This should be a bigger issue. The fact that it's just like no one's really talking about it that much.
Yeah, there's a few people that are like, look, and that was only really in the first season that they showed the people that were like protesting the severance process. So
It's an international corporation. Like they have buildings everywhere.
like that.
Oh yeah, they did send that. They sent that Miss Wong to some other place. Was it a different country?
I don't remember.
It was a like cure children's house in another state, I believe. I know that she's been like taken away from her parents and she has to live inside the home.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's going on? Why are they allowed to do all this stuff? Shake my head.
They said praise cure, child labor.
I really liked a lot of the one-off episodes in this, like the snow episode and the episode where we saw Gemma going through all that stuff. I think those are really fun and special episodes.
And a lot of people didn't like those. Like the episode with Miss Cobell and where you find out that like her mom was very into like all of this stuff and like the Egan's and that she created the severance chip. People were like, wow, give us nothing. I'm like, that's a very pivotal plot point to the season.
Yeah, it says a lot. I see a lot of people's issues where it's like, I feel like the main plot didn't progress as much as I feel like it should have.
Yeah.
Like, we were hearing about this door in the elevator. We knew Gemma was alive the entire season, but we didn't really get to all that stuff until like the last 3 episodes. 2 or 3. And I'm like, yeah, that's understandable when it's only like 9-10 episodes a season. So they feel like the plot's wasted.
Yeah.
It felt like an anime-esque like filler arc, like where it's like, oh, our main character just died. Let's go back to when he was young and cool. But I liked it because it did need space to be filled. Because if they got to the last episode and like episode 7 or 8, what else are they gonna do? They would have to set up another like huge thing that Lumen's doing and put an end to it, or have some issue happen for the finale. And I felt like that would be way too rushed.
True. I agree with that. It was just a lot of build up and more questions. Then we got answers. And then it was a slower to that plot. I just see where people would get with those issues. And like, I definitely like season 1. I feel like that's more compact and straightforward than season 2.
Well, because first seasons you have to draw people in
Yeah,
to get rebooted for a second season.
true. Season 2 sometimes are just different because it's like a transition period from like this all precise season 1, and then they're probably planning a few more seasons. So I hope they don't do too many seasons.
Yeah. I think that they'll do, I mean, obviously they're at least going to do 3. And they could honestly probably tie it up in a nice little bow if they really wanted to next season.
Yeah, I was thinking a good season 3 just ender would be good.
I've heard they have 4 planned.
That's fine too. Yeah, just don't get past 5 or 6. That's when it starts getting rough.
You got like Supernatural that has 15 seasons. I stopped watching it at a point. I was like, this, I can't.
I could not do that. So how high would you guys get for this?
When we watched it, always liked smoking before it.
Oh yeah. We usually have at least one joint to watch it.
I know you do bong rips.
I do bong rips, yeah, so I only
So-
have to do bong.
We'll say 5 bong rips.
Okay, 5. I like that. Because you're pretty lit, but you're not crazy lit.
Yeah.
And you could still follow along, and you're just more intrigued by what's going on.
Yeah.
Which I was pretty high while I was watching this. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
If you're somebody that can't really follow plots and like things moving around a lot when you're stoned, then maybe don't watch it when you're high. Like my mom was like, I can't watch that high. She's like, I don't understand what's going on.
Oh damn, yeah. It can be a lot sometimes, but yeah. I like the 5.
Yeah, the weed makes the speculation fun because it will make your mind go anywhere. While, like, when you're sober, sometimes you just take the easy route.
Yeah, everything's a conspiracy at Lumen when you're stoned.
But the show's so good that half the time you can't guess it, like sober or not. So it's just like, okay, what's gonna happen? Tell me, Ben Stiller.
We have no idea where season 3's heading. There's a lot of theories. I really like this season though.
It was good.
It's good.
The finale was crazy.
Really good TV. Sometimes it feels like TV is trying more than movies.
You're not wrong, but it's because you can fit more into a TV show than a movie.
True. But I mean, movies should be simpler than easier to.
I know, but people don't always watch sequels and stuff, so.
You're right.
It's easier to build an IP with a TV show, I feel like.
True. All right.
Slay.
Well, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy. Bye.
Bye. Bye.